and from New Orleans, because Cardi is Afro-Latina, but I know black, I Dominican. So Samira being black and from New Orleans, the bloodline is very rich. The bloodline is very rich. I'm not saying Cardi is not protected. I am not saying that Cardi does not tap in spiritually. I'm saying because Cardi taps in spiritually, she should have known better. And she should have... She shouldn't have said shit when her following said something. She also should have apologized, even though her following said something. She should have called her following out for bullying and attacking Samira, because she's very well aware that that's what's happening. Hey, Jess, hey. Someone said she's the daughter of Norisha. That's who I was just talking about, Ochosi. So it's not Cynthia versus Hoodoo, it's the lineage. Protection is not just about who you work with. I have demons on payroll. But the protection that I have from being from Greenville, South Carolina, where my roots are, yeah, it's lineage. It's lineage. That bloodline matters. So I would not ever assume just because I'm spiritual that I am more protected than any of you. It's the reason why I don't come out my mouth as crazy as I used to, because I know better now. That's my thinking when it comes to Cardi. Just because you practice and you got people on payroll doesn't mean that your protection is greater than Samira's. To see Samira's mother get on the internet and cry and leave that message for her daughter, you know the ancestors don't like tears. Tears piss them off. So Samira having had, I'm assuming Samira has cried over this. I would, being bullied by so many people. Samira's mother crying over this, that's two protected women dropping water. That's not good, Cardi. You got an album. You did this weird shit in the midst of a retrograde. And you doubled down and then said, why would I read for 5 to 6 hours when I could watch a video for 5 to 6? I know you're not going to watch a video for 5 to 6 hours, because don't nobody watch a video for 5 to 6 hours, Cardi. You're not going to watch a video that's going to educate you on the genocide, because we've been educated on the genocide since October 7th. Don't use that now as like a cop-out. Oh, I could be caring about genocide. Of course you're not going to care about fat phobia. Of course you're not going to be accountable for fat phobia when it's very inherently rooted into you. If you were not fat phobic, every time you have a baby, you wouldn't get a nip and tuck. Hennessy, put me the fucking faja on. I know it's ingrained into her. I know you are fat phobic, which is why you cannot hold yourself accountable for fat phobia, because you have a fear of being fat. Body. Don't say that. Eat that key. Like the big bitch we are. Eat that key. Swallow it. You wouldn't be like, Hennessy, put me the fucking faja on, if we weren't trying to automatically get back to being snatched. You're a mommy. You got a little bit of weight on you. Who finna say something? You're Cardi B. You're Cardi B. In the literary crisis, and she's saying she don't read. They trying to get rid of PBS and NPR, and you talking about you don't read. Reading Rainbow Ho, you don't read? What's wrong with wanting to be snatched after a baby? Not allowing your body to properly heal. Mind you, howdy. We know that they have binding. So after you have a baby, there are women that start getting their stomach wrapped to help everything get back into the place that it needs to be in. That's different. That also helps the stomach go down, but it's different. But she does read. She's huge into politics and history, which is why her saying she's not going to read a book about fat phobia, even though being into politics and being fat is political, even though reading history and being fat is historical, she's refusing to read. Nursing helps as well. Putting a fucking faja on is about shape. It's about shape. It's about wanting to look a certain way. Mind you, Cardi works out. In fact, does not mean unhealthy. When she said, first off, you can't put fucks behind anything and think it's not going to be insulting. That's absolutely insane. I am fat. That I know. That's not untrue. That's not an insult to be like, oh, my fat girl's bought up all my stuff. Yes, we would have been like, yes, Cardi, we love you. You call us fat fucks. She's Dominican. Had I said, oh, you Dominican fucks, immediately, they'd be at my throat. Because you cannot add that to the end of fucking anything and it not be offensive. Because she is in fact Dominican. Calling her Dominican solely is not offensive because that's who she is. But to call her a Dominican fuck, that's insane. Not a joke. Not funny once we get there. Now it's rude. Now it's mean. Just because her following told the joke first. I don't care if they were big women that hate themselves telling the joke first. And I assure you they probably weren't. It was probably a bunch of slim thicks with body dysmorphia that believe they're fat, talking about themselves crazy, which politically and historically has always affected those of us that are.